arrived in the city of Shendo, but you know what? You haven't really been around the city of Shendo, a vast, expansive, wondrous city as modern as they come within the world, having its own airship tower, beautiful roofs of metallic gold that glint in the daylight. It is quite as you would expect it based on its themes. It is got like I said, this sort of large, multi-tiered pagoda-style buildings, hanging lanterns, cherry blossom trees. You know, it's stereotypical, sure, but that's still sort of what it's based on. It
I love
has
stereotypes.
I do too. Cliches exist for a reason.
Damn straight.
Not necessarily, you know, with people, but with fantasy settings, cliches get popular for a reason. It sits on a pristine, almost crystalline bay with water that glitters and glints in the light and seems to teem with all sorts of wildlife. Long, sort of, strange-looking boats cast nets between the two holes, and you can see held within these nets all sorts of creatures unlike any you've seen before. I'm not talking about, you know, just fish, because you've seen fish. There's fish that you haven't seen before there, obviously, but strange, many-armed, like, mollusks and what appears to be giant razor clams. It is an unusual setting. The clothing is made of fine silks and garish colors, adorned with large golden stripes and bandings across it. And the hair is tied up in ornate sort of hair styles. We'll let you... Why don't we just have some fun running around and exploring the city? You've got, money, you've got, time, you've got things you could do, and it might be nice. Of note, however, is that, some of the guards for the Golden Palace, actually seem to recognize the sort of trappings of a monk with you, Reed.
Oh no.
And they are interested. They ask you about your martial prowess. They themselves are rather lightly armored, clad in like bright orange sort of robes, and they wield halberds that have large rings that jangle with every movement on them. Basically large pole arms. And they have largely, their hairdos are not ornate. They wear them cropped tight or tied tight to their heads.
Alright. So they're just kind of like
they ask
measuring me up.
Yeah, they ask you about your martial prowess. You see, they say, you have the disciplined, no... This is what the Asians are talking like, so it's not racist. You have the disciplined, noble bearing of someone that's trained in the martial arts.
Reed will start off with a bow. Indeed, I hail from a monastery in the west, in Stahlreich.
We heard of such places there, in those savage lands. We
take
are
a little offense to that.
We ourselves are followers of the local monastery as well.
Ah. And you said they're both wielding like the big, like, I'm assuming you're talking like those long-staffed long staffs with the long blades at the end.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
like a
they're,
halberd, a glaive.
yeah, they're like pikes. They're glaives.
That, yeah. Well, then I must assume that this is your weapon of choice. For us, the discipline is more in how many you can wield than the preciseness of one weapon.
I guess here they'd be Guandaos.
Hey, I just looked up that.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
They,
And Reed's just gonna start like he'll start pulling the kunai out of his sleeve.
The kunai with chain.
Yes.
Do you yell it?
Kunai with chain.
Thank you. Finally, Jesus Christ, it's been too long.
I know, right? We've been weeks without kunai with chain.
That's because I've stopped using it.
Whose fault is that?
Well,
these.
fix it.
They look on and smile, impressed by the weaponry.
By the kunai with chain.
Yeah, it's a pretty, not a common weapon. How many kunais with chain have you seen?
Well, I've seen reeds.
I
Yeah,
literally had to
one.
make this one.
Seen one. Now, they tell you that these weapons that we wield are largely more ornamental for our work within the palace. Obviously deadly, but we train in other facets of martial prowess. We train to harness our inner energy, our ki, so that we might manipulate the very elements around us.
Yeah, go off,
Guys,
sister.
I think we found the avatar.
The avatar, but for weapons.
It's true. Yes,
Does anyone have Zuko's number?
we can only manipulate one element, but perhaps you can manipulate all of the elements and become the leader, the avatar.
And when the world needed him most, Reed disappeared.
He disappears into the Underdark.
Jesus Christ.
But we learn how to channel our energies into elemental magics as he sort of waves his hand and sort of fire sort of spreads through the air.
Very interesting. The only other ones I've seen able to do that were the dragons.
Well, that's not all that surprising, considering that this monastery was in part founded with the help of the ancient one, Jin Long.
Is she actually here with us?
She is here, but she's off talking to what appears to be a large pillar or column that rises up to support the central structure. It seems like
she's actually talking to the pillar.
It seems like she's having a heated argument over whether it's going to collapse or not.
Okay, I'm not gonna draw their attention to her. Let's see. Well, it would certainly be an honor to pay respect to your grounds.
Well, you would be most welcome. If you would join us. What was your name?
I am Reed Underbow of the Seishan.
I am Dullahan.
He's one of those headless Reaper dudes.
Yeah, a Dullahan. He's actually missing his head. He would be 6 feet tall. But we would be most welcome. You would be most welcome. And you know, we would not only be willing to show you our ways, we would be most interested in learning yours.
But of course, one of my greatest desires is to spread our wisdom as far as it can go.
That is indeed the mark of a true master. Come. Your friends will not be missing you. Eh?
Well, no one's really here to look back to, so.
But they will take you off to the city.
Alright.
Alright, you will go to the Temple of the Four Elements. I mean, the Western Air
Hooray.
Temple.
The totally
Always
not
wanted to be
Avatar
Bruce again.
Temple. I can't believe we're going to Republic City.
Republican City. Now that sounds like my sort of place.
Oh
Yeehaw! Shut up, Beaver. You live
no.
in
You're
Florida.
gonna find fucking Master Ron DeSantis.
All right.
No
never
gays
know.
allowed in this monastery.
You know why? Beaver. You know why only conservatives can survive in Ravenloft? Because they'll stop the count.
Oh Jesus
Oh, no.
Christ. That's fucking horrible.
All right. Meanwhile, let's see. Where's my dice at?
I was expecting the, like, festival arc to take place.
We already did a bathhouse. No more.
Right?
But we need the school trip, we need the festival, we need the New Year's arc.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe there will be a festival. Who knows? Fuck it.
I mean, there's still the
But-
Chinese casino arc.
There
I
is
don't feel really targeted.
well, you're in you're in Chinatown, so
That doesn't make it any better, Colin. That's not the response I wanted to hear.
all right. Much as Reed sort of garnered a certain amount of attention from monks, there are quite a few people that move about the palace that your mere presence catches their eye. Each of you a powerful high level player character, obviously. You have the trappings of adventurers, of powerful casters and fighters, and that sort of strength is always liable to gather some sort of attention. So, after Reed goes off to become the Avatar with his,
Aw.
new friends from the Four Seasons Monastery,
Good for him.
you find that the next person that gets approached is actually Karakwa.
Oh, that's
Oh.
me.
Oh my god.
I play Karakwa.
You have a very
Karakwa.
prominent token on your person, obviously. You have the wildfire totem. It always blazes bright, its eyes ever casting a glow even in bright daylight. It sort of has a light about it. The heat. And you have captured the attention of several druids that are unlike any that you've really seen before. They look a bit like elves, but they are clad in sort of dark leather, like sort of black leather armor that has silver studs, and they have purple robes and things like that. They are all like largely completely bald. Save for one leader that has one person that stands at the head of them that has long, flowing, sort of almost sumptuous black hair. It does look like it has not been washed recently. It's in sort of tight dreads that are pulled to the back of her head. She is as pale as the rest of them, however. These are Shadar Kai, elves of the Shadowfell.
Oh my god.
And they have a very distinctive emblem emblazoned on the chest of all their clothings. One that looks like a shadow that is, or a silhouette of some sort of beast, some sort of creature. You can see, much like the wildfire totem's eyes glow with fire, these emblems glow with a faint, almost purple color. Doesn't look like fire, but there's definitely some sort of magic on it.
What kind of magic?
You can detect magic for that.
I will, since this is mostly just kind of a resting thing. Well, casting detect magic's like obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they could tell your casting spell. You could try to roll an Arcana check.
I'll try that. Let's see. 16. Good old average roll of a 10 plus my bonus.
It's probably an evocation. It looks like it's probably just some sort of light spell. Minor light spell of some sort.
You said they have approached me.
They have approached you. They sort of, their eyes narrow as they look like extras from the movie Queen of the Damned.
Hot. I kind of look at them holding my staff and say, that movie sucked shit.
They go, excuse me?
Oh, what are they, the warden from Holes now? Excuse me?
I'm gonna sick Aunt Maharet on you. What do you think of that?
Oh no, I don't get that reference.
Ask them about practical magic.
What do you think of that, huh?
They're druids of the cringe.
Oh no.
When I started typing in holes, this is what came up right here.
Is this Alpho?
No.
Boy, whenever I look up
No.
when I look up holes on the internet, I can't even post it.
Oh.
Gonna give your life to my charms in the Admiral's arms.
The good old thigh trick.
I go, boy, how many Queen of the Damned references can I make? Why do I know Queen of the Damned that well? I honestly don't really know. They approach you.
To it.
I mean, it's a pretty old movie. So.
She is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Who, Aaliyah?
She's also very dead.
I mean, yeah.
Really?
Not bad for an A cup.
So she can't say no.
Did she die?
Yes,
Yeah,
she
died
did
in a
die.
plane crash.
Damn.
In the middle of the production
Wow.
of that movie.
Wait, really? Yeah, I
Oh
did not
wow,
know
so
that.
the actress died, not the fucking character died.
Yes.
I mean, the
I did not know.
character also dies, but the actress
I didn't know
also
that.
dies.
Yeah.
I
I
got
did not know that.
got
That sucks.
got a freaking plane crash wrecked. Point is, don't overload your tiny little private plane. It's
Well,
unfortunate.
see, Nature Boy Ric Flair learned that lesson the hard way too, in Wilmington, North Carolina.
They approach you,
Uh-huh.
eyes interested, as they see that you have a very prominent totem, the wildfire totem.
I
They
do have that.
almost immediately, you can see there are as they approach you, and the wildfire totem sort of seems to glow a little bit brighter, and the heat kind of fills the air, they're almost like centipedes and millipedes and small like cockroaches that sort of begin to squirm out from underneath their armor to move
Ew.
away from the heat.
Oh, are some of them like swarm rangers? Those are cool.
They are a special druid circle. They're the Circle of Vermin.
That's fucking
Wow.
cool.
They deal with swarms of rats and bugs, basically.
Hmm.
But the leader, like I said, this woman with long, sort of dreaded hair, says, "You are a druid, are you not?
I am.
Wildfire, yes.
Indeed.
How fares the Wildfire Druids? It has been some 20 years since we've been in contact."
Not well. But like anything else in nature that has been burnt down, it will eventually regrow. I will
Ever
tell her,
optimistic, always, always.
in these dark times, one can only have optimism and hope.
That's not true. You can be sorrowful and just wish for death.
I look around to the side and I look straight to the camera and I say, no. And then I look back to them.
It must be very nice to be able to find comfort in such meaningless platitudes. The lands that I come from, we have little need or desire for such optimism. We live in the realities. But
I
we
don't even respond to that.
we each have our own place after all. Young man?
Last I checked. Indeed. Karakwa.
It's hard to tell because you ain't got no balls.
They're tucked inside of my body, in my cloaca. Observe as I it open for them.
Oh, I'm done with this game.
My
On to the next one.
God, they're huge.
Huh?
Karakwa sort of narrows her eyes.
Show over balls.
Which is Alacool in the corner yelling out, "Show her your balls!"
My word.
Oh no, it was Heathcliff in disguise. I actually just wanted to see her lizard.
What magic
balls
item you
boy.
think you'll give us for letting him see your balls?
Karakwa?
Spheres of immortality. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Who's your grandma, boy?
Defecated by now.
Oh, I know all about the whole eating each other thing. You know. In a city like this, you got enough money, you can get someone to eat you.
I'm not quite sure
Yes,
how to
sir. Please
respond to
partake
that
of my flesh.
information. If you are approaching me for any kind of sexual reason, I must say I'm not interested. I'm sorry.
Lizard Vor.
He's ace.
You don't
Jesus Christ.
you don't have to
I have
worry
sex
about
with the
that,
weird
young
bug people,
Karakwa.
okay? That doesn't make me ace. Maybe I don't want to get my dick near a bunch of bugs and rats.
You don't have to worry about that, Karakwa. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Nothing like that.
Discrimination.
Just Karakwa's a name I heard about. God. What was it? 15, 20 years ago since we've been, like I said, I can't tell you the exact time it's been since I've been in contact with your tribe, but
If it's been longer than 15 years, I was probably not there.
hmm.
It was before I joined. I was very
Wait,
young.
how old is Karakwa?
19, I think.
Okay, so age of consent. Okay, we're good.
But like a fresh 19, like right now.
Yeah, like jailbait. He's like still jailbait look. So
Do you have names for your family, Cody?
I would, you know what? Let's look him up. I'm making some up right now. Let's see.
Let's see, there's Todd, there's Tom, there's Tammy.
There's
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn the Kobold.
Karakwa was the name that was given to me when I became one with the Wildfire clan. And I have it in my notes somewhere where I put this stuff down. I swear to God I have it, but I can't find it. Give me a fucking second, okay? I legitimately had shit that had like my like stuff and I don't know where it's at. Fuck me. Is it in this folder?
We're all both wardens of nature. I myself am I'm not the Grand Master, but I am a master within the circle of vermin. We don't
I'm
call.
looking through like old messages. I know I've said it somewhere. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm afraid we don't call this land our home. You don't even call this plane our home. But we do try to visit and gather supplies. The Shadowfell can be very dour, as you can tell by its name.
Indeed. But there are reasons for that too.
Sometimes we are gifted the various supplies and sundries by the emperor of this land, as well as his ambassadors, because, well, they believe that their horses ended up in our realm.
That's it. I found it. Sorry.
Stevie Nicks?
Jesus Christ.
And
Uh,
husband, Nevy Sticks.
uh,
If your mama liked fucking your daddy's best friend, you could call him Lindsay Cuckingham.
you know what? Sure, man. Why not? Rockwa's name before joining or being joined into the Wildfire clan. His name was Grunkalen. And with that, I'm trying to think of how would his parents' names be there. They were not part of the Wildfire clan either, though. The way that they would find young initiates, those who lived in the swamps and nearby, anyone who had any kind of innate connection to nature would be given over to the clans, to the Wildfire clan.
Name passed to you from the Wildfire Clan. That's why I remember it. You're not the first Karakwa I've met.
It's possible there have been others. as the names are given down and handed from the elder at the time.
Well, it seems like you're doing the name justice, boy.
Thank you. I'm certainly trying my best out here.
But you're a long way from home, aren't you? It's a
Home is where
vast
your
travel.
home is where you bed at night. Home is where you
Make it?
in a way.
You like to see homos naked?
Kinda like to see homos naked.
Shut the
Oh no.
Beaver, get naked.
Well, I mean, I'm already drunk, so I'm not gonna. It's not gonna take much to convince me.
Hold on 1 second. Laura, get in here.
You
I still
know,
need $20 though.
I'm kidding.
no, sir, you know, I might have
I ain't getting that $20, am I?
belittled your optimism, but to tell you the truth, it's kinda nice to hear.
The optimism that I have there is a big task ahead, not just for me, but for everyone else in this world. And either we do it, what needs to be done, or we don't. So I'd rather have the optimism and believe that I will do it than the pessimism and think I will not.
It's a breath of fresh air, honestly, compared to what we deal with on a almost. Our existence is one of fear and desperation.
Fear of what?
On our native plane, we're little more than prey for the Huntsmaster.
And I know you told me, Colin, but I don't know if they told Karakwa. What plane is that from?
That's the Shadowfell.
Okay, so they did say it then.
No, they are from the Shadowfell. Yep.
You would probably know that from me, Cody.
Okay, just making sure. Because I know Colin told me. I wasn't sure if Karakwa
No,
was
it's
told.
been pretty dislodged from Henley by now for a long time that he's connected to the Shadowfell through Uller.
Well, I meant specifically these druids right here.
Well, yeah, but you know he's the huntsman. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Just double checking.
Mm-hmm.
But my people are viewed as prey, and hunted, chased, as most creature that finds itself unfortunate to wander those plains. Game in a never-ending chase.
I'm trying to figure out how to word this right here.
Bo.
Poorly. Word it poorly.
I could word it poorly. I could word it with Bobobo for sure.
Cody,
Yes.
do you see the dude who made Bo in Armored Core?
No.
Wait,
Link
what?
that right now.
I'll see if I
Yeah,
can
link
find
that shit right now.
Link it right now so I can stop playing this and go play that instead.
True fact.
I want to play the Bobobo mech.
What?
Oh yeah,
The
here we go. I
Bobobot.
found it.
The Bobobot.
Now this is good. This gives me the opportunity to set up some backstory stuff with druids.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fair.
yeah.
So if they're living in fear then of specifically the Hunt Master or just
The
like
the huntsman and the hunt.
and the Hunt. So they're more so you are even if you are not directly involved, the hunt still affects those in
The
that
hunt
realm then.
always seeks ever more and more powerful and elusive prey, and when they don't find it, well, they hunt whatever they can find.
Mm. What can be done to help ease that situation?
I'd hoped to speak with the Emperor about finding or procuring resources so that I might perhaps transport the entirety of my clan from the Shadowfell instead of just a handful. But that has not turned out quite as planned.
I like it, Cody.
Oh my god.
That's fucking beautiful.
Jesus,
Goddamn.
tap dancing Christ.
As long as the hunt still hunts, and my people are on the Shadowfell, then it's a danger to them. That is why we grew to, well, able to control and harness and turn into vermin, because it's so easily overlooked by the Huntsmaster. Cockroaches and mice and, you know, gadflies and the like, they
Yes.
are overlooked a lot more than some of the more, you know, sizable things,
Obvious.
bears and the like that you find on your plane.
It does make sense. Why has the Emperor denied your requests then?
He is more wrapped up in his own affairs. Those of, well, the Jinma dynasty, and his concubines as well. He says perhaps in 10 or 20 years. But in 10 or 20 years he could just say the same thing, or he could be dead. Who knows? Currently, his wording was preparing for a large military expedition to regain lost lands in the Empire of Stahlreich.
I've heard.
My people are of little aid in that, I'm afraid, so we have no place. And he'll not devote resources into finding a way to transport my clan over to this region, this plane.
Having spoken with the Emperor too recently, I can see his dismissiveness in ideas such as this. I will keep what you know, or I will keep you and your clan's plight in mind, and see if I can have anything done to change that too.
Well then, consider myself optimistic.
I'll kind of give a cursory nod, and then
He reaches out to shake your hand, or she reaches
there
out to
any
shake
bugs
your
on it?
hand.
are there bugs on it?
There are.
I'll shake it anyway.
There's constantly millipedes and like gnats and things swarming around it, but they don't really crawl across you or anything.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Except you turn into a giant centipede.
No!
You're now
My one
controlled by them.
weakness!
All right, but she clasps your hand and nods her head, and she says, "I hope that perhaps this meeting will lead to the aid of my people, because, to tell you the truth, we've had very few that would listen to us."
That is also a unfortunate reality of many leaders that I've encountered in this realm. I imagine, and in others also.
Come, we return to the Shadowfell and to our people. May the skies be ever dark, and the moon ever dimmed.
Did
And
she
sh-
give me her name?
She did not, but she can.
What is your name?
My name is Doulahan.
Doulahan what?
Doulahan these nuts to your mouth.
Oh man, I've been had. Karakwa fucking dies.
But her name is Hestia. She is not the Grand Master of the Druids, but she is a Master level Druid.
You got it, boss. Hestia. Madam Hestia.
Alright. She turns, and the small, like I said, attaché of druids, there's no more than like 5 others, so there's 6 total, begin to walk away, and you can see, even as she walks, there's like a trail of like mice, cockroaches, and things that sort of scurry behind her. And you do notice, however, that several of them break away and sort of begin crawling along the walls. So while Hestia is here for her own age, she's leaving behind eyes, essentially, and ears.
Makes sense.
She's got at least some of her varmints and rodents and vermin remain behind as eyes and ears within the palace. Alright. Time for
Something I will also
Yep.
talk to Henley about next time I see him.
I mean, you're
there with
you're
you, I
all
think.
there together.
Oh,
Only Reed's gone off.
I thought it was like a separate thing, like how Reed did a separate thing. I'm sorry.
Only Reed's
No,
gone
they
off.
are, but like they're coming and finding us inside the place while we're
You're
there.
all in the palace,
Alright.
basically.
So then I turned to look. So now that the Oblivion NPC conversation has zoomed out from Karakwa, I turn to Henley and zoom in NPC Oblivion conversation with him.
All right, one
Henley-
walks up and says, "Jump, Wabbajack, 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 Wabbajack."
Oh god.
No, I haven't violated the law though.
What do you think about that, Henley?
Fill me in, Cody. I was looking at pictures of Armored Core.
He's looking at fucking porn.
Henley was on his
Armored Core
phone, like not
Kirby.
listening. Henley was like, left, swipe right.
Wait, there's actually something more important right now. What should I get for dinner?
Ooh.
We already know you're gonna get Zaxby's, but no, I heard about their
I thought it was
shadow.
gonna be Taco Bell.
I'm not driving.
Yeah, Colin's gonna
Oh,
order
that's good.
Zaxby's. I heard about Shadow Vermin from the Shadow. I heard about Vermin Druid from the Shadowfell trying to escape Uller or something like that. Is that the gist of
Yes.
it, or is there more?
Pretty much. The hunt has been apparently very disruptive to life there.
Recently or overall?
I imagine overall. They've been
'Cause
looking for a way to get out to a realm which would have no quarrels. Well, without that quarrel, I guess I should say. It's not like this realm and plane is without strife at the moment either, but
Well,
if they're willing to risk it here, they petition for the emperor to give them supplies and ways and funds and men and power to move out of the Shadowfell realm plane and to here. And he has denied that, or not so much denied, but just not even bothered to hear them with it, their request.
well, I do suppose that one of the benefits if I mantle Uller is I can
Not do
help
that.
them. Yeah,
Definitely a good alternative too.
they could also. I'd also be willing to accept them into the Wilderstadt if they're willing to come to my village, but I don't know if they're up for that.
Change of pace is change of pace for sure. I
I
think
mean-
most of their woes and troubles comes from lack of funds and resources to do so. I don't know how many there are. So.
Well, between you and me, growing up, around people who don't really utilize magic, and now seeing what magic can do, I think my people could have greatly benefited from it. And nature magic is very in line with how my people are, so
Indeed.
it'd probably help them as well.
It
And they're
could
in
be
tune with
very beneficial.
they're also in tune with animals, so it works out. Yeah, I mean, if you would like to parlay that to them, because I'm sure they'll be more likely to listen to you than me, who's tainted by Uller, I suppose. I don't know if they can see it on me or not.
You say tainted by Ulo, but also
I
is
mean,
it
well,
not?
I suppose
is it
touched is a
also-
better word.
Is it also not your land? Are you not also now a leader of this realm?
Of this realm or that village? Because technically, no, I'm not the leader of that village right now.
This realm being this plane of existence. They wish to leave their plane and come to this one.
Yeah, I meant there. I just
It
meant
still gives you authority on that. And people, if they are unwilling to look past that to help themselves, that might have to be a trial they will have to come past with also. Knowing a lot like the Emperor here, with his transgressions with Stahlreich, unwilling to look past it for the benefits of others, they might have to learn to do the same.
I just more meant they'd be more willing to listen to you than they would to me. But I
True.
suppose I could talk to them.
We can talk together if you think that would also work out too. But I think it's also good for others to see that working together to help benefit others should come before other transgressions and ideas and thoughts.
That's very fair. I guess I can go meet with them because they're still here, right?
They
Yeah,
kind of poofed away.
they were just kind of
Oh.
walking out, basically, but they're still, like, around.
Well, I mean, if they left in that middle of that conversation, then I'm sure at some point we'll meet back up with them.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
obviously. Alright. Learned a thing or two about the Shadowfell.
Oh my god.
Let's see what the dice will drive me to. Backstory. This backstory and side quest stuff is being driven by a dice roll.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Just
Nice.
fuck
All praise the dice.
it. All praise the
Crystal mad
dice.
fucking drunk, so let's see what
1,
happens.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, here's a little shot of something different. Venta True Cloud.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I knew it.
The situation that you've come from is one of relatively no minor tragedy, really. Yeah, you got infected for a little while by a disease, but you had a nice, a nice family. Your parents cared about you. You weren't like an orphan. Your family had decent money. They had their own inn. They had plenty. So what you know is in food and inns. Obviously,
I know how to eat.
you know how to eat. You know how to drink. You know how to be the proprietor of a fine establishment. Ah, boy. And so as you are walking through, sort of hanging around the Golden Palace, there is an elderly woman with her hair, grayed hair, tied into a high sort of bun. And it is frazzled, and she frantically is trying to hand out flyers to drive traffic to her establishment. A inn that is and tavern that is called the Black Ox. People are passing her by, paying little attention, save for one that sort of sees the flyer and he laughs. Black Ox? I wouldn't step a single toe in that shithole, as he sort of tosses the piece of paper to the side. She sort of picks it up and dusts it off.
Is she standing outside her own establishment trying to hand out flyers, or is she somewhere else?
It does not. You don't see that she's at the front of her establishment. You look at her. She looks like she's on a street corner, and you don't see inn. It actually looks like some sort of counting house of some sort that she's standing next to.
Okay. Which is closer, her or the flyer the guy threw on the ground?
They're the flyer.
I'll get the flyer.
All right. You grab and you pick it up. You can see, like I said, it does have it's drawing of a black ox. It is written in Jinma Common, however. So you don't necessarily recognize the actual, like, advertisement.
Alright, well, I just walk up to the lady, and I'd say, hey, is it morning or afternoon?
It is afternoon.
I said good afternoon. I don't know if you understand me.
Thank you, young man. Yes, your accent is fairly thick, but I understand you. They're both similar common. It just, you have to spend a little bit of time deciphering it.
Ah, okay. So I caught your flyer here that gentleman tossed away, and I can't read it, but I wanted to visit your establishment.
Well, we'd be happy to have you, of course. Of course. We're just down the road, not more than 3 blocks. You won't miss it. It's a bit of the sad state. And all these grand buildings. It's a little bit... Well, you'll know it when you see it.
I look at her and I say, oh, well, I've been traveling for so long, I've just been waiting to put my boots up. Let me head over now.
I'd be happy to escort you, even.
I would be happy to have you along. And and you said she's an older woman?
Yes, she's old.
Okay. I help her along, I hold up my arm, and we can, like, lock arms, and that way, you know, I kind of help her
What
along.
a sweet young man you are. So many of the people in this city are so rude.
They are rather blunt, aren't they?
Well, everyone has their place here, I'm afraid. Come, we'll find a nice warm fire so you can warm your feet and put your boots up, and we'll find something nice for you to eat. You like fish soup?
I've never had fish soup from here, but I'd be willing to try.
Of course. You'll have to try the fugu.
I will certainly give it a shot.
What's fugu?
I have no idea what that is, but I'm just gonna play along.
Stands for
Mr. Fugu. It's
Is
Mr. Fugu from
I know,
Chowder.
Mr. Fu. Is it a balloon? Dude, do I get a fucking balloon?
It
Do I get
stands
a balloon?
for us Gaius.
What the fuck?
Why, you don't remember Fubu?
Colin, how drunk are you?
Right?
You're drunk. Come along, young man.
Or boo-foo, buy us, fuck you.
Come
That was
along,
from
young
How
man.
High, an Ice Cube movie.
She leads
Wait,
you
that was Ice
away,
Cube.
and it is indeed only a couple blocks away, but you can see why people might overlook it. It is located very close to the Golden Palace, and it is situated amongst these sort of grandiose buildings. Several very fine silk shops are across the street. There's, like I said, a counting house down the road that does all sorts of trades of goods and gold and jade. There's a fine jewelry shop next to it with beautiful sort of open, bright glass windows displaying all sorts of finely crafted pieces of jewelry, and situated almost tucked back in an alley. It almost looks like one of those really thin row houses in Los Angeles. It's maybe 3 stories high, but it is, like I said, it's thin, it's tucked away. It's dingy looking. It has a chimney, like a iron or sort of tin smokestack that awkwardly bends out the top of it and sort of is crooked and turned at strange angles. And there's like a acrid greenish black smoke that comes out of it. But around it, the air is actually pleasant, as the smell of like pungent herbs and cooking. And whenever she leads you to it, there is a cast iron sign that is a black ox that hangs above the entryway.
How does it look? Is it like polished or is it like rusty?
Oh, it's rusty.
How high up is it?
Probably. Well, it's just above the doorway, so it might be like 8 feet or so.
I might need a chair to reach it. Okay.
The windows themselves have not been cleaned. They're covered in dust, although it does have a sort of welcoming orange glow that sort of comes out of them. It looks like there's a warm fire that's lit within, despite the fact that it's not really that cold outside. It's a little bit chilly, but it's not super cold. And as soon as she opens the door, you're once again overwhelmed by the aromatics that hang in the air that previously seemed strong outside. Now it's as if they were muted, as once she lets you enter inside, herbs and spices and incenses all sort of waft over you as you step into a awkwardly shaped common room due to the strange sort of footprint of this building being so sort of long and thin.
Well, I think of what I want to do. I'm gonna go pee right quick.
I also have to go pee, but inside it is also kind of dirty.
Okay.
But
I think I know
not like, you know, like there's not mice running around, but it looks like it's just, you know, it's not been dusted, it's not been taken care of, that sort of thing.
Sweeping.
Yeah, I gotta pee too though.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Gracie, move before I pee on you.
Gracie's into that.
Do you think Colin only hates Gracie when he's drunk? And he's always drunk, and that's why he always hates Gracie?
Wrong theory. But that's just a theory. A game theory. And people have a lot of time and skill to make these emblems in Armored Core.
They really do, because you have to like
Yeah.
pixel art it too. Like, it is insane.
It's not pixel art. It's how do I explain it? You get a bunch of pre-made shapes and decals, and you have to use layering and masking and grouping to make the shapes you want.
Oh, I saw people had it. It was like a grid, and they were like putting points in the grids. But
Yeah, there's a grid, but it's not pixel art. It's definitely not pixel art.
Oh.
It's Did you ever play Phantasy Star Online 2?
No, I have a life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jesus Christ. Fucking
But that
got him.
game has an extremely similar system for the symbol arts. Oh, this one's pretty
That Killer Queen's really good though. Like
That
it
is a-
is, or like that cat.
Oh,
like
jeez.
how close they get them is like really impressive.
I've made a few. I've made 2. They're not that great, but
Well, no,
Oh.
what I see is I see people go like, oh, like how long to beat the game is like 15 hours. I'm like, no, it's not, because you're gonna spend 4,000 hours in the fucking creator.
I mean, this is some of the stuff I'd see all the time in Phantasy Star Online 2. You could like they're called symbol arts. Basically, you can say them like in a word bubble instead of text. It's stuff like this. These
I
are all
like
ones
that
that people have
the
made.
one is literally titled "I'm so sorry."
All right.
Hell yeah, Pecorine.
I'm back, Colin.
Okay. It's a well-maintained establishment. It's like not structurally falling apart. You know, it's not on the verge of collapse. The roof is still sound. It looks like it'd be watertight if it rained. It's dirty and a little bit dingy, very out of the way and small.
I look at her and I ask her, could I have a cup of tea?
Of course. What
I bet they got
type?
bomb ass tea here.
We have many teas.
Dealer's choice. Whatever's your favorite.
Cinnamon chai.
I will certainly give it a shot.
All right. As she goes about her business, you can see she stokes the fire up, and she gets a nice like copper kettle, puts it over it. You can see she grabs like a mortar and pestle, and she sort of muddles some leaves before putting it in like a tea sachet with some other herbs. As you're watching it, she's very deliberate and thoughtful. She has a very kindly air about her, as there is a loud thud on the window. As you can see, it's suddenly a portion of the window is marred out, but what appears to be mud that's thrown at the window.
Oh, what?
And a voice
There's
that's
some fucking rat kids out there chucking mud at the window. I swear to God.
Keep the shit out of them.
You don't belong here, Baiku.
What
Oh
the?
Jesus, no.
Do they call her a slur? What the fuck?
You got a history check on Baiku?
You gotta
Oh,
roll
no.
history to see if they just dropped the hard R
That
on her.
sounds like a slur. I got a -1.
The hard U.
No.
You got a 9 on your slur check.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to roll it that many times. I got a 10.
Take a
on the
higher
first
number.
one.
It
Give him a 13.
You have
No, I
Yeah,
got a
give him a
10.
13 on his slur
you have
check.
no clue what that means. But the woman just sort of frowns
That
slightly
sounds
and
like a
continues
slur.
going about it. About her business.
I think this woman just
I have
got
to get something
discriminated
to drink.
against.
I
That-
I apologize for that.
Why do they treat you so nasty?
Sort of cocks her head and says, because I am Baiku, lower class.
And so that means that they can just treat you however they want? And
I'm
can't
afraid.
do anything about it? Why? What makes you upper class? What about it? Is it money? Is it that obvious?
No, it's lineage and breeding. It is only by circumstance, ancient circumstance, it feels like at this point, that I even have a building within this high district. My great-grandfather founded this establishment when he actually says no, it'd be great-great-great-grandfather founded this establishment when this district was much smaller. Buildings were a little bit less grandiose, but his son, my great-great-grandfather, he married into the Baiku, a common woman. And ever since then, while we've had this place, we've been considered Baiku. Lower class, you understand.
But your father's side still has lineage and deep ties to the country. That doesn't make any sense.
They only care about the dirt, not the gold underneath it.
Well, they're the ones getting their hands dirty. That's the way I see it.
She just kind of frowns and she says, it's just the way that things are here. I don't imagine you're from around here if you don't know it, obviously.
No, ma'am.
We have those at the bottom and those at the top. That's the way it's always been.
Well, I think that if we spruce this place up, they might have a bit more respect for you.
She sort of frowns and says, I wouldn't want you to... If someone of the high class saw you doing that, helping with someone of my stature, a baiku, you could find difficulties in this city. I would not thrust that upon you. Especially one, like I said, since you don't seem to be from here, I would have your impression be a good first one if you're going to make it.
Ma'am, if it's all the same to you, I'd much rather treat you with the same respect I'd treat the Emperor. Or Shogun.
Shogun?
You can
The
see...
way I see it, we all walk under the same sun.
I'm offended for the Japanese.
She is taken aback by it, and she sort of kind of swats you on the arm, but she has a smile on her, sort of a crooked smile on her face, and she says, "Don't let anyone hear you saying that."
It's a good thing we're the only two people here. And I
Unless-
say, I look around and
Now,
I say, well,
now kiss.
it ain't that bad.
It is
Nothing a couple
indeed
of
not
hands
bad.
can't fix.
It is indeed not that bad. A nice
grab a
stern
mop.
cleaning. Maybe looking at her menu, going over her finances. That might help. Stuff like that. Like I said, you know all this stuff, so.
Yeah, of course. Any tips I can give her? Any pointers I can make?
All right. You grab a mop and a dustpan. She makes tea. It is like I said, it's like a sort of a cinnamony chai, almost spicy tea. Quite delicious, very delicious even. That could very well be a signature for her. She seems like she knows her tea.
I taste it and I'm like, this is delicious. I have to take some with me.
Of course, it's of a special family blend.
And you serve this at your establishment, and they call you Baiku? It's a shame.
She sort of smiles and says, she sort of holds up a teacup and says, "If I was 50 years younger, you better watch out, young man."
Why is that
Well-
stopping you?
Sure, break a hip.
But no, you made a very good impression on her, and also learned something about the city. There are two very distinct delineated classes, a lower common class and the high class. You've dealt largely, obviously, with the high class. Jinlong basically brought you along straight into the high class. So it'd be difficult to know exactly this stark delineation and wide delineation between basically the 1% and the 99% of the city. So now that there's a 1% and a 99%, Rick has to work to overthrow the 1%. So
Shit, Vent is gonna work to overthrow.
Jesus.
This lady's nice.
she is very kind, and it's by pure lucky circumstance that she even has a building in this area. But let us go to the dice again and see what other
Dice.
stories can be told in this the city of Shendo.
Oh, it's like that one episode
Let's
in
see if I
Avatar
can
where they
sober
like
up in
look
30
at
seconds.
everybody.
Oh, I rolled a 1, and the 1 is me. All right. Okay. As you're standing there, Klaus, sort of
Yeah.
minding your own business, you hear a whisper sort of in your ear as almost the shadow of the Redeemer sort of rises up from the ground, and he says, I've been here only once in my life, but it still has the same overbearing, overly gilded look as it did whenever I came here in my youth.
overly gilded, huh? So if I can earn some coin, like the other way,
What? Looking to earn some
where can I
coin?
gamble?
Looking to
I can have
gamble?
some fun.
Ah.
Gamble, fighting pit, cards, whatever the fuck it is. I'm taking
Cars.
a day off today, bitch.
Well,
Names and cars.
I am not one to partake of that sort of low entertainment. Whenever I was here, at least you wouldn't find me admitting it, now would you? That being said, if you happen to wander yourself out of this fancy, highfalutin, gilded district, you might run into some more interesting entertainment. I don't know how you're feeling about red light districts, but they aren't too hard to find.
Now you're talking about language. Points me in the direction, my friend.
You're gonna want to follow your nose to wherever it stinks the most.
Well, that's me.
Well, second most then, I suppose.
Alright, so is that like a perception check or something?
No, you
See
just
if I can
kind of.
find some
It's actually more simple than that. You just gotta head out of the nice district.
awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna head out.
Alright.
Get away from all these fucking snooty bitches.
Fair enough.
I want the lowborn. My kind of type.
The bike is where
Indeed.
it's at, man.
The Baiku is where it's at. You leave the guild district, like I said, you find that it is a very... the Golden Palace and the sort of Golden Districts, they are relatively small compared to the actual city. It has a very large, like, tiered wall around it. And while exiting is pretty easy, you kind of, looking at the security, worry about getting back in. You don't have, like, a pass or anything.
I know, right?
You can climb the wall. It's not that high. It's only like 30 feet high.
I'm sneaky boy. I'm a sneaky boy.
Outside of the actual district, it was pretty hectic and loud within, but without that district, outside, it is a din of people. The sights and sounds of the city are all around you as people brush past you. Give me a perception check.
Ah, hell. Founders being Foundry again.
It do that, do it.
Yep.
Alright.
So I can't get lower than... Hang on. That's a 23.
Alright.
So I'm proficient, so I can't get less than 10.
You distinctly feel a hand that brushes up against Vecna's needle and tries to palm it and pull it away from you. As someone bumps into you, sort of with a growl, and you can see his hand sort of runs along your back and tries to lift the dagger away from you. But you catch him trying to pickpocket it off of you.
I'm gonna grab him by like the nerve in like the palm of the hand, just like fucking.
Oh, hey, I was just right into you. Sorry, I didn't mean anything. What are you doing? He's a crazy person here.
Sure thing, buddy. I'm gonna let him go. I'm just gonna like eyeball him the whole way he backs away.
With that, with your perception check, you see he backs away, as well as what appears to be a half dozen other watchers, all thieves casing you out, as they sort of disappear to the ground.
Less.
The local thieves guild.
Can I get like an actual count on them?
At least a half dozen.
half dozen. It's
Yeah.
a pretty respectable number.
They almost seem to meld back into the crowd, as he sort of makes a little bit of a "Hey, you hurt my fucking hand! What an asshole!" But then he sort of clutching his hand also disappears in the crowd.
You know, fuck it. I'm gonna try and find him again, or at least one of the other 6 dozen that I spotted.
All
See if I
right.
can't find something to some kind of work.
Well, this is tracking, so.
Oh, tracking. So that's survival, isn't it?
Yep.
Fuck me running. That's the one I'm not proficient in. Let's try it.
The Deemer's not proficient in it either.
That's a D20 plus 1. Let's hope for that crit.
That's
a fucking 14.
I'd even probably make this a charisma tracking check.
Okay, so add charisma to that?
Yep, it'd be charisma instead of wisdom, because it's essentially a streetwise type skill.
Okay, so that would be a 16 with that same roll.
Alright. You're unable to keep your eyes on this man, but one of his cronies, it seems like a much more inept member of the Thieves Guild. I wouldn't say like completely inept, but he doesn't blend in quite as well. He moves awkwardly. It seems like he pauses every now and then, unsure of what to do before continuing onwards. You're able to pick him out as he sort of makes his way away from this crowded street, and you have to follow him for about 15 minutes before he ducks into an alleyway. This district is much less nice than the Golden District. It is dingy, much like the Black Ox is. It is out of the way, it stinks. There is a man on the corner of this alleyway leading into it. He has a stall set up, and he's selling what appears to be lengths of intestines to use as sausage casings. He is...
Interesting.
Whenever you approach, roll a... You have Thieves' Cant, right?
Yep.
Roll a... Just give me a straight intelligence check.
Okay. That's not very good.
Alright. You can see, as you go past him, he sort of takes out a large sort of length of intestine. He sort of chops it, and he says, "Can I interest you in some sausage casings?" All these people turned out very cockney for an Asian city.
Yeah, well, I mean, one's
a
racist accent for white people, one's a racist accent for Asian people. I don't
want him to be like, "Oh, can I interest you in sausage casings?"
Yeah, we're not trying to be Mickey Rourke here. We're not trying to be Mickey Rourke.
Colin, every time you do that voice, I'm gonna punch you one time when you come over here.
You don't reckon the sausage casings.
Actually, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm gonna white people shame you.
I already have enough shame, and it doesn't have anything to do with me being white and everything to do with me being ugly and fat.
You're not fat.
Colin, you weigh 150 pounds. What fat?
But I am ugly.
Look, I'm not gonna speak to your beauty. You have confirmed your weight already.
But Beaver, indeed, he does like say, "Would you like any sausage casings?" He says it very loudly as you sort of brush by him. He says, "Hey, fucking asshole!" And he sort of
Is he one of the people that I recognized as
He is not. But he does. Whenever he rushes by, you hear him clang clang with his cleaver 2 times on his chopping board as he chops away sausage.
So he's signaling.
It seems like he's signaling. You didn't really catch it in the moment, however, as whenever you enter the alleyway, it is dead empty.
Damn. I thought I had him. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't looking for trouble. I was just looking for some fun. Not looking for sausage casing, but do you know where I could find some interesting work?
What are you, a fucking cop?
Oh no, the cops wish they were me.
Huh. I mean, I lived here a long time, friend. I can tell you where to find some fun and some work. What type of fun and work are you looking for, exactly?
Oh, just a little something to break up the monotony.
Because, if you're looking for some fun, there's a lot of different types of fun. We got funs of, you know, the more carnal variety. We can find you on Red Light District. There you can find women and various mind-altering drugs. Or you could go to the quaddle fights.
That sounds interesting. What's those? I don't know what the quaddle are.
Whoa. Let's just say that,
You have Kawaddle cockfighting. It's awesome.
they do have quaddle cockfighting.
I know, I already know where this is going, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, out of character. I love that.
Yeah, out of character, I'm going for this.
We've got, well, they're not native to the region, but maybe 200-300 years ago, some explorers brought back the first koalas, and ever since then, there's been quite the trade in breeding and fighting them. You look like the type of guy that would love a nice thick koaddle in your face.
God
What?
damn it, Colin.
Alright, look. Now, keep in mind you didn't hear this from me, right? If someone asks you.
Oh, of course not.
And that includes
hear
not
anything.
just any kind of, like, guards, but also any kind of people running it. Because if you fucking go in there and make some trouble, then I don't want to be on the fucking bad side of anyone, right?
Of course not. I didn't hear anything from anyone ever.
Well,
Just
I
curious.
hear that there's gonna be a quaddle fight tonight. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock's when they start. Last till, I would say question marks, is usually till there's only one left alive, you know, but that could be God knows how long. And
Depends
it
on the
is,
fight, I guess.
it depends on the fight. I guess it depends on the amount of quaddles too.
Yeah.
And it is gonna be at, well, he sort of looks around and he says, it is gonna be at the Gilded Dragon Counting House.
Sounds like my kind of place. I'm gonna drop him a golden coin and be like, yeah. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction.
He says, oh, well, don't worry. I imagine you'll see me there, but I'll take this gold coin because it might turn into 10 if I get the right bets.
Yeah, finder's fees. That's how it works, isn't it? And even then, friendly face.
Oh,
Never stop appreciating that.
I'll tell you what, for the gold coin, I'm even going to give you the password to get in.
Oh, much appreciated.
Alright.
Either that or it was gonna be the back window.
Well, you know, as long as you didn't get caught, but to tell you the truth, there's been more than one person that made their way in the back window. That's not like a sex thing. Alright, but he leans in close and he says, the password is, does a cat's hair stand on end?
Does a cat's hair stand on it?
That's right.
Interesting.
Does the Redeemer shit in his hat?
I don't have a hat anymore. You took
No,
it from me.
That was last week's password. That was last week's password, man.
Shit, my bad.
All right.
All right, so I will make my way
All right, that'll be it.
towards
Yep.
the what did you say? It was the Golden Counting House.
It's the
Or
Gilded
Gold-
Dragon
Gilded
Counting
Dragon?
House.
Yeah, Gilded Dragon Counting House.
All right.
And what time of day is it right now?
Oh, it's like afternoon, so there's still like hours.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll find some like fucking noodle house, something like that to pass the time until then.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's go to the dice.
Kitty cat.
Oh my god, it's 1 again. That's me. A drink.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Let's see. We got Reed. We got Lever. We got Venta. So we need
It was
Alec
just,
Cool and Henley.
Henley and
Although
Alec Cool.
Henley's kind of already been pulled into one thing. Because
Also, it's like the arc's mostly about me, so you should probably like focus on them anyways.
all right. I can tell you what we're gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna order something to eat real fast.
I bet you guys.
Let's go ahead and start wrapping this up so I can play some Final Fantasy 14 with other people that
Do
want to
you
play
mean-
Final Fantasy 14.
Do you mean the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, I need to keep I need to do my roulettes and stuff. So
Fuck, what was I gonna do?
all right. The final. I think we got one final person to have their a little bit of a side story in the city of Shendo, that being Alec Cool. But it is not someone that wanders along interested in like fate or prophecy or anything like that. You've already got Madame Vestia for that, and she won't shut up about it. You've already got Jean Long for that, and she also won't shut up about it. No, instead, this person is more interested in the very act of tailoring itself. Indeed, the beautiful silken wings that Alakul bears are what draw her attention. A young girl, probably no older than 15 or 16. She's clad in a beautiful silken kimono that is of some sort of cherry red that has like cherry blossoms that are inscribed on it. Sort of, you know, I'm like, what's the word? Inscribed. Whatever the tailoring version
Embroidered.
of embroidered on it. That's the tailoring version of the word. It is embroidered. They're beautiful, like cherry blossoms embroidered on it. Her face is sort of caked in heavy makeup, with bright white, almost sort of China-esque makeup on, bright red lips and darkened eyes. Her hair is tied up high and in an ornate way, but she stops and can only help but stare in awe. She can't help but stare in awe at the beautiful wings on Alec Cool.
Do you have a name?
My name is
Yeah.
Doulahan.
Houlihan who?
My name is May.
Can I help you with something, May?
She sort of says, "Oh, no, of course not." But you can see she keeps looking at the wings. Says, "Wait, those, it's beautiful.
Thank
Those
you.
wings. Are they What are they made of? Are they silk?
They're made of me. They're made of me.
How do you attain such beauty?
You know, the short of it, is I am a champion of my goddess, and I am a weaver of fate, so to speak.
Oh, I am but a lowly tailor's apprentice. But one day I hope that I can create such beautiful tapestries.
I'm sure you will. Do you have any work?
She sort of spins in place. I created this myself.
Does it look nice, I assume?
Yes, it's pretty nice. Yeah, you can see it's not perfect, but it's nice enough.
For someone of her age, it's pretty good.
She's a teenager apprentice.
Quite good yourself. How long have you been weaving?
She says, my father sold me to my master when I was but 6 years old.
That's unfortunate. Does your master treat you well?
He is a very kind man. He teaches me enough, but oftentimes he just ignores me. But he does not hit me. And that is perhaps the best that a Baiku can expect.
Would you like to be free of your master?
Never thought of it. It's not my place to decide if I should be free or not. That is my master's place.
What I mean is, would you like it if you were free?
I don't know where I would go.
Anywhere. You could travel to Stolreich or Beaz and learn from other weavers there if you'd like.
I have no coin, no way to get there, even if I could. I'm afraid. But would be interesting. There is a big world out there, and many, many, many tailors to learn from.
Oh my gosh, Ziggy. Let's see. Could you take me to your master?
Of course. He would also enjoy seeing such fine work, such incredible wings. And she sort of demurely nods her head and walks away. Every now and then she turns to see that you're following. She leads you to a tailoring shop filled with sort of fine garments. It's adjacent to the Gilded Dragon Counting House. It is across the street from the Black Ox. So it's all sort of clustered together conveniently. He's a very plain-looking man. Middle-aged. His hair is turning gray. He has lines of sort of worry and tiredness on his face as he enters, or she enters, He sort of holds up his head and sees her May enter and he says, "Little bit late for work today, aren't you, May? Not that it matters, but try to be on time tomorrow." "But you've brought apparently a customer unlike anything I've seen before. What is your name?"
My name is Alec Cool. I'm traveling here currently at the behest of fate itself, I'd say.
Well, fate chose the correct shop to lead you to, because you'll find no finer garments in all of Shendo. Although, he sort of strokes his chin, we don't have garments that have extra armholes, but that can be worked on very easily. But he sort of smiles. He says, "I am always happy to have new and lovely exotic customers from all over."
I take a look around. Does it look like he's a pretty high quality tailor? Or is he just like making himself up some?
Oh yes, very. Just looking at it, you don't even have to roll any checks to see. The clothing is high quality, highest quality materials, and as far as you can tell, not necessarily the highest quality make, but of a high quality make. Seems like he knows what he's doing.
You said he was like an older guy too, right?
He is. He's like maybe late middle age, probably like 50s.
Okay. Then, how is your apprentice working under you?
Oh, May, she is the quickest of studies. A very quick study. She does this shop quite proud.
Would you consider allowing her to travel?
Travel where?
Anywhere fate takes her.
Well, that is a difficult question to answer. I suppose it hinges on what she wants.
And I would be willing to pay some to cover any losses if that's something you're worried about.
No, not any losses at all. It's just he sort of looks at May and says, "Dear girl, I was your apprenticeship. I don't train you because I want you to make show clothes for the shop, or because I want to use you to sell, or I need your goods to sell. We have plenty of clothes. I did it because, well, I want you to have a trade and something that can take care of yourself whenever I'm not here anymore. I never had a wife. I never could have a daughter."
Well, that's very kind of you.
And so she is something like my child.
I see. Well, I do know of quite a few places and people, even royalty, that would pay dearly for the workings of someone of her skill. I'm gonna kill my fucking dog. friends and associates and some acquaintances, but
An image
If-
of Ito pops up.
if she wishes, I don't insist or anything, but if she wishes, I would like to put the offer out there. If she would like to travel, she's getting about the age. I understand that humans begin to do that. So
Is this what you want, child? And sort of May kind of slowly nods her head. Very well. But on one condition. Whenever you go out there and you get all this fancy, exotic techniques, you have to come back and teach them to me. An old dog can learn new tricks.
that's quite a fair trade.
And as for you, as he turns to you, Alakul, you promise me that she'll not come to any kind of harm.
Of course. I frequently go to danger, but I would not allow her to follow me.
Very well.
I would more than likely send her directly to somewhere quite safe that she would be honestly in dire need.
It is your life now, May. I understand, yes. I, in a sense, purchased you. But I did it because I wanted someone to love. And part of loving someone is knowing to set them free when it is their time. So spread your wings, my dear girl, and go see the world. But make sure you come back here to visit your old man and see just how well the shop is doing. Hmm? Alright, it looks like not everyone in Shindo's an asshole.
Well, I
Yay.
mean, you know, I think that's fair.
That's a pretty fair deal.
Alright. He nods his head and he says, when would you be departing?
I believe we're going to be here a few days, I would think. She has time. I have business to attend to with Lady Jinlong and a few others. So I will come and retrieve her myself whenever I'm finished. But I would say no less than two more, or no more. No less than 2 days.
That will give us time to pack and prepare and perhaps have a nice dinner. Alright. You're gonna help this young lady see the world and become a true tailoring expert. And when she can, then she can come home and spread all sorts of different and interesting styles to the rather limited Shendo. Alright. But that is, you know, everybody got to do some run around the city. We'll probably finish it off next week. The hanging stuff. And maybe we'll give maybe we'll give Ito something if he's around, and Aruna. Some Shendo side quest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should bother with Connor. But...
I never plan on, but maybe
Tommy did text me. He sent me a picture of his internet Xfinity gateway being out. And he said the storm last night made it act funny, and now it's out.
Did you tell me you're basically doing Tales of Ba Sing Se, but it's in Shendo?
I can tell him that.
Yeah, that's basically what's
Oh.
happening. And you're sort of learning about the
We must do
city.
some cockfighting with Klaus.
It's not
First,
cockfighting,
Soldier
it's
Boy come
coatl
marching home.
fighting. But it's
Oh,
essentially that's
okay,
essentially what's
so-
happening.
Fantasy synonym cockfighting.
Yeah. But more importantly, you're also learning about the city and the Shadowfell and stuff like that. It all has a purpose. It's all been put there for a reason. Except for Reed's. He's learning about martial arts.
I mean, as he should.
Yeah. It's been a long time since he added something to Reed's Kung Fu Codex, so we'll add like a fireball or something.
Woohoo!
I got.
I'm gonna burn everybody.
I'm having
I'm
a-
so
I'm
glad
having a
the
good
ice
time.
enemies that we're fighting are weak to it. Oh, wait.
Lax and Karakwa.
Haha, Karakwa doesn't have to care. Can bypass immunities.
Bypass? Where?
Fire burns the soul, the spirit.
Cody held up 2 fingers.
I did. I forgot what I was gonna say though, so it's okay.
Scouts honor.
He holds up 2 fingers. When was the last time you were 3 knuckles deep?
And
Minutes
who?
ago, when I was heating up this fried rice in the microwave.
Yo, fried rice is delicious.
Yeah, made it the other day.
All
I
right.
had a bunch of rice left over, so I was like, I'm gonna make a shit ton of.
Hey,
fried
they ain't
rice.
no.
So
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do, man.
Homemade fried rice is like the best shit ever.
I used to get frozen veggies, like just like a few bags of like broccoli, bell peppers and onions, peas and carrots, corn, things like that, and I just put it
Hell
all in
yeah.
one giant Ziploc bag and shake it up, and I just dump some of it out in like in a pot and just heat them up, and then throw that all in there with some sausage. I kick.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Fucking,
yeah.
what type of sausage?
Just some Turkey Hill beef
I've-
sausage.
I fucking love kielbasa. Like,
Yay.
do
link
get some
sausage is
kielbasa,
so
too.
good.
Let me show you the. I want to show you.
Oh, I should probably stop recording.
No, you should keep recording. Keep
No.
recording.
No.